I'm going to do a couple of quick thank yous. I'd like to thank all of our amazing board members and who are so incredibly supportive who came today. Dr. Joseph Chang, Mr. Gino Kwok, Mr. Martin Madrano, right here in the front row, and Mr. Anthony Duarte, sitting right there. Thank you very much. A huge thank you to all of my so supportive principals, Mr. Ben Webster, Ann Hansen is in the back, Mr. Randy Boncustiani, and Mr. David Percy, who couldn't be here because his little son has a congenital heart defect that's kept him from coming, and so we pray for his speedy recovery. But these guys, this is really the best administration I could ever ask for. Mr. Webster and all my principals have been so incredibly supportive, and they've seen my dream of what's to come. They've allowed me to do things like this. I mean, how crazy is just this spectacle in and of itself? And they said I could do this, so just the permission is enough. Besides all the financial support, moral support, and all the times I go in there and complain and cry on their shoulders. And Mr. Levine, shout out to Mr. Levine always. Real quick about Mr. Levine, he has not missed a single band performance no matter how far we travel. That's not a lie. He's been to almost every single band performance. He's that supportive of our band. A huge thank you to all my leadership crews, Link Crew, Renaissance, ASB, you guys are awesome. There we go, yeah, shout out. Our old principal, Miss Meneses, was here. She bought a table and bought some of the other principals some dinner tonight, so thank you guys for visiting our school. To my awesome jazz coaches, thank you very much to Hayden, Nico, and Anthony. Hayden's on a gig. Anthony's here. I don't know if Nico's here, but those guys are awesome. They help us out a lot. Thanks to all my middle school feeders and all my middle school teachers are here. Fairgrove, Sparks, Grandview, Yorinda. Some people probably from Sierra Vista and maybe others. Who knows if I left any out, I'm sorry. And then I have a visiting school here from Sierra Vista, not even in our district, so thanks for coming, guys. Thank you to my, now I can officially say, beautiful wife, Shannon, who's sitting up there with her mom and my best friend, Brianna. I've been saying fiance for so long, and it feels so surreal to finally be able to say that on stage, but it's an awesome thing. I love being married. And then thank you to my awesome family who's been coming every year since we started doing this and always buys out the front row. So thank you to my beautiful friends, their friends, for supporting us. Thank you to all my families, their families, especially our booster parents. A huge thank you to these guys who put this whole thing together. Band moms and dads, we love you. Thank you to all my alumni who are here. Thank you to all the sound crew, to Mr. Jimenez and his awesome crew that have been putting this together, making it sound great. Thank you to the one, the only, Shouse Money! Mr. Shouse is one of the biggest blessings we have ever received on this campus. He picked up his family and moved all the way from Missouri just to be a part of what we do here. And it's proof that he is an amazing man, an amazing musician, because he went out with the concert band and took them and they got unanimous superior on grade 5 level literature, which is college level, the hardest music known to man, and he tackled it with those kids, and he's done some amazing things. And his beautiful wife and friend have flown in, and she's been doing awesome things with our choir, so thank you, Amanda, for coming in and helping the music program. Lastly, thank you to all of the Workman staff and teachers and office ladies and men who have been here, and thank you for coming. Mr. Piero, thank you for making our awesome program. If you have a program, Mr. Piero did the whole thing. Mr. Yarbrough, sorry. Piero is his first name. Mr. Yarbrough. Our custodial crew, who's always on point with everything we need. They get the chairs out here, they get the tables out here, they're amazing. We love you guys. And then very last but not least, if I left anybody out, good God, I'm sorry. Thank you to our guard, color guard, like I have to say it again because they were looking at me with those eyes. And last but not least, thank you very much, Mr. Gordon Goodwin, for coming out and inspiring these children. I can't say thank you enough, and you humble me, and thank you so much for being here.
I actually wanted to mention one other thing before we stop tonight, and that is, so when I mentioned earlier how I fell in love with jazz after hearing Count Basie as a little kid. And around that time, I became aware of a jazz radio station here in Los Angeles, so I started to kind of play it a lot. You know, my parents had one of those big console stereos, those huge things, and I would have that thing cranking all day long playing this radio station, and I was so insistent. I mean, during dinner, no, it's on, all day, my mom and dad would try to put a record on, no, don't touch it, I was so into it. I learned so much about jazz from listening to this radio station. So, recently, last year, the Big Fat Band did a benefit for that station, a fundraising benefit at the Walt Disney Concert Hall. Beautiful concert, and it was an honor to be able to, support the station that was so important to me growing up. And our relationship kind of grew through that occasion, and then they called me a few months ago and asked if I was interested in hosting a show on the station. And I thought, hosting a show, that would be I hadn't considered broadcasting or what does that even entail. The more I thought about it, they said, look, you can do whatever you want. And I said, well, I don't know if I could do a daily show. No, how about like one day a week, a couple hours a day. A couple hours show, one day a week. And I said, well, maybe I could do it. I wasn't sure how long it would take to organize and produce and all that. So I decided to give it a shot. But in our meeting, I said, one thing I would like to do, you're always talking about trying to bring a younger demographic to appreciate jazz. This is one way, right? In the schools, where you have, where even if some of these musicians don't go on to play music, they got it in their bones, don't they? They have an appreciation of music, of content, right? So that's one way to build an audience. But as far as radio goes, I go, I think what we could do is, what if you let me take at least one of the slots in my show and dedicate it to playing the music of young, upcoming musicians. And they said, oh, well, yeah, maybe that would be cool. Do you know any young upcoming musicians? I go, I do know a couple. So my show started last Saturday. The radio station's called KJazz 88.1 FM. It's got the largest listener base of any jazz station in the country, right? You can hear it on FM radio if you even know what that is.
Don't they put those in cars?
They have those, but you can also hear it on TuneIn Radio, that app, or the iHeartRadio app, or KJazz has their own mobile app where you can hear the station. So I started last Saturday as my first episode. Tomorrow is my second episode, and anybody want to harbor a guess as to which young band I'm featuring on the show tomorrow? So, if you want to hear more of this fine band, tomorrow from 12 to 2, 88.1 FM, you're going to hear the Workman High School Band. The national radio debut.